Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Let me get some lights on the subject. Been having a wonderful conversation with my son. He has been up here for the last hour and a half or so. Robert went up the mountain to see Mr. Charles. We just got to pray for Mr. Charles. He finally got to come home yesterday. So come on in, folks. Come on in. I've just got this song in my head and I'm just trying to get FlyLady in the picture. So come on in. I've seen the prototype of the new calendar, gone over it. It's looking good. But I've had this song in my head, Oh, to be like thee, blessed Redeemer. This is I don't know, I have to look up the words. Oh, to be like thee, oh, to be like. This is somebody look it up for me. I don't know what it is, but I'll have to look the song up later. So get on in here. Justin made the tea for me today. Oh, to be like thee. Oh, to be like thee. Blessed Redeemer, pure as thou art. Somebody find the words for me. I can't figure them out. Anyway, we were talking about the best laid plans. And I said, son, I was 43 years old before I knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. And he's got a kid that'll be 21 in December. And Ethan's trying to figure it all out. Let's see. I've got to tell you before I email, thanks to you, after my entire life in church at 28, I accepted Jesus. And I blame you for all the talk about. Sunday, I was baptized. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I'm so proud of you for accepting Jesus. That's what I like about Pastor Greg's services. If somebody wants to be baptized when the service is over, he baptizes them. They've done over 8,000 people have been baptized in 3 years. In 3 years. 8,000. Some dead churches their baptistries are full of Christmas decorations. Oh my goodness. So Ethan's trying to figure out what he's going to do this summer. Blessed Redeemer, yeah, pure as thou art. Have a good lasagna recipe. I do not have a good lasagna recipe because I don't have a lasagna recipe. Somebody was asking, here's what I do. You can get lasagna noodles that you don't have to pre-cook because I hate that stickiness of those lasagna noodles and then they get too done. So I just get pasta sauce and I make hamburger and Italian sausage and then I mix it together so it's got that spicy little flavor. You can use regular sausage too. You need to put some Italian seasonings in it. And then some ricotta cheese and some mozzarella cheese, and you just start layering it. And usually the box of lasagna noodles will have a recipe on the box. Yes, no boil lasagna. Chorus, blessed Redeemer, precious Redeemer. I see him on Calvary's tree, wounded and bleeding and dying for me. That's not the song, I don't think. Oh, to be like thee, blessed Redeemer, this is my constant longing and prayer. That's the words I couldn't. Gladly I'll forfeit all of life's treasures Jesus, thy perfect likeness to wear. Thy perfect. You can use cottage cheese too. You really can. Really, it works. Anyway, thanks for looking those lyrics up for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But Justin never dreamed that he would be my bookkeeper, my chief financial officer for FlyLady. We didn't know about FlyLady when he was going to college. He went to school to be a meteorologist. He didn't know what he was going to do. And he moved up here one fall and started working for a carpenter. And he didn't have a whole lot of skills, but he learned a lot working with Mark Goff. He didn't have a clue. And then Emily was going to college and she was going to be doing her student teaching, and they didn't want to be apart from Memphis to here anymore. And we figured out a way for her to do her student teaching up here, and their life started out. And then in 2000, FlyLady pretty much started. In 2001, we were shipping out books, and Justin was doing it, sleeving them up, putting them on pallets, and taking them to FedEx to ship to Amazon. So here's what we were talking about. There comes a time when you can make all the plans in the world. I was going to be a blacksmith. I was going to make quilts. I was going to do this, that, and the other thing, but God had other plans. And He made it happen. He made it happen. He made it happen. So make your plans and tell God about it, and then stand back and hide and watch and see what happens. Whatever God has planned for you, He's gonna, unless you totally reject Him. So hide and watch. Ethan has to find his way, but he has to find his way in righteousness. Righteousness. David, King David, he didn't get to rebuild the temple. He wanted to rebuild the temple, but he didn't get to rebuild the temple. His son rebuilt the temple. And he lived to be in his 70s. And he was pursued his whole life by King Saul. Y'all are helping her make lasagna. When I make them, one time I made 6 big old lasagnas at one time in those roasting pans, and I gave them as Christmas presents. I froze them and gave them as Christmas presents. Makes a pretty good Christmas present. But you make your plans, and then God has another plan in mind. Somebody asked for my help on a message board. And before I knew it, I had an email group set up, and I was guiding people. Yeah, Justin, he loved meteorology from the time he was 5 years old. He witnessed thunder snow as a 5-year-old, and it just intrigued him. But now weather is a hobby, and he doesn't live in West Tennessee anymore, so he doesn't chase storms. So y'all, pray about what what you want to be when you grow up. Pray for your grandchildren. Pray for your children to find out what they want to be when they grow up. Anyway, y'all, what was I going to talk to you about from this morning? I remember yesterday's and the day before yesterday's, but I was going to tell you about something this morning, and I don't remember what it was. Who remembers what I was going to talk to you about this afternoon? Just, it's gone, and I haven't even slept. Have you done a live or an essay about stocking a pantry? I've stocked up a lot, but I've hit the wall about what else I need to add that makes sense. Well, stocking a pantry is more than just food. Patera has discussed this a whole lot, but you need multivitamins. You need first aid stuff. You need some Everclear or some vodka to be able to make tinctures or vanilla or stuff like that. What else? You need sugars, honeys, molasses, different things like that. What else? You need to be, I have some sutures that, you know, to a cut that you pull these things and it sews up a hand. 3 months supply of medications. Yep. But that's hard to get right now if your insurance companies won't fill them. What else? Vitamin C, vitamin D. You need vitamin D. You can get out in the sun and get vitamin D, but not like you can taking it. B12. I like the under the tongue stuff. What else goes in a pantry? Toothpaste, toothbrushes, dental floss, because you can use that for lots of things. Yeah, food for your dog. I've got a big bag of rice that I could feed Tulip with if I needed to. And I've got extra bags of dog food, which would work. What else goes in the pantry? Garbage bags. You need garbage bags, all sizes, because they can be used for more than garbage. Um, your grocery sacks that you get from the grocery store, if they haven't outlawed them in your area, and they haven't outlawed them in ours, but you can put those over a 5-gallon bucket, one right after the other, and you can turn that into a portable toilet if you need it. Powdered milk, but you can also get boxed milk at the dollar store, little boxes of milk. I take a lot of vitamin D. I like my vitamin D. But yeah, shelf stable milk. You can buy that stuff. I ordered some and I have some as backup in case we run out of milk. And Robert has a, a method. He has a basic weekly plan for his breakfast in the morning. One morning it's cereal, the next morning it's an egg on toast. And then on Sunday he gets toast and marmalade. So he has 3 days of granola and 3 days of whole wheat toast with an egg. Toilet paper, but you might have to make alternatives for toilet paper. Yeah, I know you don't want to hear this, but you know that bag of mismatched socks that you have stashed in your closet, they can make good toilet paper. Soap, yep, soap, um, laundry soap, because you might be doing laundry in a wash tub. And I have a big wash tub. I have a big kettle that I can put over a fire and boil water and wash clothes if I need to. And we have, I follow Cog Hill Farm, and she is dehydrating something every week. She's dehydrating, she just dehydrated peeps. And she says they taste, now I don't like peeps. I've never liked marshmallows because I got sick on them one time when I was little, colored marshmallows. And so she dehydrated peeps this past week, and they taste like the marshmallows in Lucky Charms. And Patera was making fire starters this week. She saves toilet paper rolls and stuffs it full of dryer lint to become fire starters. And she takes the toilet paper rolls down to her dryer and she just stuffs them and makes them and put them in a bag, ready to go. Let's see. She said she might tell us a story about, oh, my dog's killing chickens. Yeah. Yeah, that's the story. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Many years ago, I think it was like 20 years ago, I get a phone call and I had just gotten out of the shower. And the man from one of Jimmy's family calls me up and said, your dogs are over here. Because our dogs always had a collar that had their name on it and it said silly. And he said, your dogs are over here. They've got my chickens cornered and they've killed one. Well, I knew for a fact that once a dog gets a taste of chicken blood, you can't turn it back. You cannot turn it back. It's going to kill chickens. And there's remedies for it, like tying the chicken around the dog's neck till it rots. And I couldn't do that. And I said to the man, I said, please don't kill my dogs. Give me 2 weeks and we'll get a fence around our property. I mean, at the time we owned 5 acres. And I said, we'll put a fence around our property to keep the dogs in. And he said, okay. And because it upset me so bad, I fainted. I said, I need to get off the phone. I promise you we'll get a fence up. And we got somebody to put the fence up for us. And it was just a chain fence. Fence almost caught our house on fire. It was an electric fence around the top. Now you can get electric fences but we fenced in we fenced in 2 acres. And there we had a mess on our hands. And I had an adrenaline rush but we kept the dogs in. Shadow could dig out of a fence. Oh my goodness. And it was just a constant battle trying to keep them in the fence. But dogs are pack animals, and if you don't have more than one, they don't really stray too far without you. But that was a terrible situation. We still got 2 acres fenced in, but we leave the gate open up by the house. Anyway, folks, I love you all. Mr. Charles is not doing well, but he's home. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. We got stuff to do. Y'all be good, kind, and sweet. Be good to yourself by making plans. And be kind to others by being willing to go where God sends you. It's an amazing thing to go where God sends you. I love you all. And let that sweetness that's in your heart that comes from God show the world who you are, a child of the Most High God. Drink up. Thanks for helping me with things I couldn't remember today. I will talk to you later.